JohnJay and Rich. It's very exciting. We've had this guy on our show several times. I know, Rich, you and I actually partied and drank with him in Las Vegas years ago. We're talking about Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block. They're going on tour with the main event. It's the main event tour with TLC and Nelly. Or is the band? Is the main event a band? What is it, Jordan?
The main event. That's the name of the tour.
Oh, that's what it's called. Okay.
That's the tour name.
The tour name, yeah, the main event. Yep.
Kicks off in May, Mandalay Bay, 40-city tour with stops in Seattle, San Diego, Phoenix, Dallas, New Orleans, and Houston. What's up, dude?
Not much, man. Just gearing up for the tour.
How rich?
Getting over this blizzard.
How rich are you, dude? When I think about how famous you were, I mean, how like you were the biggest band in the world in the late 80s, and how you're still out there and you're still, going on tour. You must have so much money, it's ridiculous, right?
I don't count my money, man. I just keep going.
But have you, okay, that's good. But have you, in your past, what would you say is the most ridiculous thing you've ever purchased? Now, before you answer, I want to tell you, we interviewed Oprah, and Oprah told us that she bought a convertible Bentley and drove it, was rich, from Miami to Chicago, and then got rid of it.
Yeah.
Didn't want to give it to a friend.
Because it rained on the inside, so it ruined it?
So she said that was. So what about you? What's the most ridiculous item?
I'm not big on just buying, kind of things like that. I back in the day, I bought like this convertible Mercedes, and I never drove it. I drove my Jeep most of the time, and I'm like, why do I have this thing? It's not, I just don't get into that kind of stuff. I just recently got like a Rolex, and I thought that was like my biggest purchase yet. So I don't know. I haven't really gone crazy like that with my money.
Well, that's good. That's good to kind of keep it real like that. Maybe, I don't know if we talked about this when we were hanging out with you in a bar in Vegas. Were you telling me that you get a little bit of stage fright sometimes still before you go out on stage?
I do every once in a while. I used to get it real bad, like before I'd go on TV.
Okay.
For some reason, I would look at the camera and be like, there's like 10 million people looking at me right now. I kind of got obsessed with the thought, like, oh, I could do the littlest thing and look like a knucklehead, But that was back then. I mean, I still get butterflies or nervous for sure.
Yeah, but
I think you need that kind of thing, and that just kind of means you care. You want to do a great job.
Was it your brother then? Was he the one that was on Oprah or one of those shows where he was dealing with some sort of social anxiety?
That was my brother. Yes. I think, Oprah got good TV that day because they surprised him. He didn't know he was going to go on first or, exactly what they were going to, hit him with. But I think he got surprised in the moment that he was going on first, and he just kind of panicked, like, oh my God, I'm on Oprah.
Yeah, he was all curled up in a chair. I remember that episode. He was all freaked out.
Yeah, he was. He did have a tough time on that show. But I don't know. He's been on TV since, and you'll see him on TV pretty soon. It's kind of a phase we went through, and we all still kind of have a little bit of anxiety, before we go on TV or do something on stage or whatever it may be, and some more than others. But he's good.
It's kind of interesting about you guys and your journey is when we were hanging out with you in Vegas, I kind of noticed that pretty much every walk of life would spot you and recognize you. It didn't matter how old or how young. It seems like everybody loved themselves at least one New Kids on the Block song. And I wonder if that's kind of what inspires you guys to kind of keep on getting out there and doing it.
Definitely. A lot of people were touched by us and our music, and that feels amazing. It feels wonderful to know that you've done that for people. And the main thing that keeps us going is really the fans and the reaction that we get from the fans. And obviously our love for what we do. We did it when we had nothing, and now that we have something, we still do it because of the love for it. So, we're still all healthy. We're still all together. We get along well, and it's a good time. So I think the fans feel that from us. The fans, when they see us on stage, they know that, we're still doing it for the fun of it. Obviously, the money's good too, and we all have to make a living. We all work. But we still have fun, and I think that's what the fans feel.
Did you go to Donnie's wedding to Jenny McCarthy?
I did. Yes, I did. We were the groomsmen.
That's cool.
Of the wedding. Yes.
Let me ask you
this.
this.
We were on the first episode of Donnie Loves Jenny. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on A&E. But yes, it shows us as the groomsmen on the show in the wedding.
The TV show Entourage, executive produced by Mark Wahlberg, and Mark's been on our show many times, and it's common knowledge that it's about kind of his life, all that stuff. So you guys made it big before Mark did. What did you experience that you've seen on Entourage that was part of Mark's life that has now made it on to what's the heck's the guy's Vince? Who's the star of Entourage, the main guy?
Vince. Yeah.
Vince, yeah. What have you seen?
I haven't watched a lot of the Entourage show, but I know Mark and I know Donnie, and I'm sure all of the stuff that's on the show is pretty true, maybe a little exaggerated or dramatized, but there's definitely a lot of characters in the business, and there's also, when you get a certain notoriety or make some money, there's always people that will like to be hangers on or tell you what you want to hear to hang out with you or whatever. So
well, and you guys, you said before you have anxiety going on TV. Well, we're talking about TV. You guys have a reality TV show. I mean, being anxious to be on TV, did that play in the decision? Like, I don't know, are we going to, did you worry about what you were doing, or did you just kind of be real with the cameras there?
No, I mean, like I said, like that was kind of like, I don't know. At that time when John did that show on Oprah, like he was away from the entertainment business basically, and all of a sudden he's now on Oprah Winfrey. I mean, that's extreme.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean. So it's like we've been reunited for 7 or 8 years now, and we've done tons of TV. We're all used to it now. So kind of like that didn't really play into it. There's a show called Rockland's Boat that's based on the New Kids Cruise.
That's right.
Experience. So, and we're all in that show. And the thing about reality TV is kind of like, they put the cameras on, but you don't know they're there really, or you just kind of get used to them. They kind of like fade into the background, and you just kind of go on life as usual, and you let them make it interesting. Basically, there's not a lot of pressure, so it may be a little different now with the reality stuff and TV shows that we do. I think it's different than, my brother going on Oprah Winfrey, one day just kind of being, a regular person, and the next day he's on, Oprah Winfrey. So
right.
It's a little different.
What about some new kids music? Do we have that on deck?
For this tour, no, we don't have any new music, but we've gone on to, we're going to do all our hits and a lot of new music that we've recorded over the past few years, but we do not have a new album. We're smart enough to know that most people come to hear our old hits.
That's right. So, they want to hear what they know, and they want to sing along to everything. And which songs?
That's it.
What song's still hard to sing for you? Now that you guys are a tad bit older?
Which song? You know what? I think they've gotten easier for me to sing. As a matter of fact, I think the more you kind of like know your voice, the more you pace yourself, the more you kind of sing, your kind of vocal cords stretch out. It's funny. I saw Steven Tyler the other day on a show, and they were showing their concert. And I was like, man, this guy's like in his 60s or something, and he was still killing it on stage. His voice sounded great, and I guess hey, you can do it. The older you get, you can still do it.
That's right.
So I think I'm definitely not as old as Steven Tyler, and
You look
my
just
voice
like him,
is
though.
my voice is still holding up.
You don't got
so.
a crazy toe like him either, which is good.
Hey, we had Mary J. Blige on the show, and I remember asking her if there was a song of hers that she's kind of sick of hearing and sick of singing. And I can't remember the song she said, but if you tell me the name of the song, it was her biggest hit. She's like, I can't. Do you remember the name of the song, Rich?
I don't
Mary J.
remember that
Blige.
question.
Well, do you remember her song? What's her biggest song?
Let's get it funky. That one?
Oh.
No, but anyway, she said. She
Oh,
goes,
what about Real Love? Real Love.
That's it.
Yeah.
She goes. She said, "That's it." She goes, I sometimes I get sick of singing that song, and I was wondering, you've had those same amount of hits for so long, and you've been singing for so long. Is there a song that is going to be coming up in your playlist where you're like, oh God, I don't want to sing the right stuff right now?
I think as long as you stay in the moment, I could see where I've been on stage and I'm thinking what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Or I'm thinking about
You check out during the song.
You're singing the songs and your mind is totally somewhere else. And I have learned over the years to kind of stay in the moment. I think we always bring a live band with us, so when you have the live band and the crowd there, it really does help you stay right in the moment. And with the shows that we put together, it's exciting. So it definitely keeps us in the moment. But I've been there for sure. I know what Mary J. Blige is talking about when she's like, "Man, I do not want to sing this song." But we've been. I think the older I get, I think the more I want to stay in the moment. The more fun it is.
We have time for one more question.
Okay. Hey, is there any songs that are being played on the radio right now that A, you love, and B, that you'll maybe sing out on stage? Like Sam Smith. I could see you doing Sam Smith.
Stay with me.
See?
Sam Smith, that's a good one. One of my favorite songs is the Nick Jonas song, Jealous.
It's a great song.
Great song.
I love that song. I think he definitely, he nailed it with that. But we usually sometimes we mix our songs with, other hits, and we kind of mash up songs that we have. So you never know. You never know what you're going to hear at a New Kids show. It's not all New Kids music.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Jordan, man. New Kids on the Block, going back on tour, the main event with TLC and Nelly, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, guys.